So I'm at Rivergreen in Clifton, Nottingham, and we are walking down to Clifton Village. So this is Clifton Estate, and I think this part of Clifton was actually called a different name back in the past, before the estate was built. It was built in about 1950, and the first residents moved in about 1951. I'll tell you a bit more about Clifton when we get to the village. So this house was built in 1879, a long time before the Clifton Estate was built, and I think this house actually was in a different village, the Forge. And then here we have the A453, which kind of cuts the Clifton Village, which is straightforward there. It kind of cuts through Clifton and creates a kind of boundary between the village and Clifton Estate. And this is the main road. You would come in to Nottingham from the airport or the M1 if you're coming from the south, and you'd probably just drive past Clifton and not even know it's here. Right, so we're at the village. That building there, obviously very old. I can't remember what it is. I should have done some research before I came out. Here we have the Clifton Village Hall, obviously. That used to be a school, 1871 that was built. That was the Clifton Village School. So let's just go over to this building and see if there's any sign on it to tell us what it is. I think it might be a dovecot. Let's have a look. Got a kind of war memorial here. Clifton Roll of Service 1914 to 1918, so that's the First World War, obviously. So I'm just going to take a sit down and just get my bearings. So as I was saying, the Clifton housing estate was built in 1950, and it was built at a time when Nottingham was expanding its boundary outwards, as were other cities in the UK. And what's interesting about Clifton is that it was built on an area of land which was away from the city of Nottingham, and because of that, I think the ONS, the Office for National Statistics, doesn't actually include Clifton in the figures for the population of Nottingham, even though Clifton is within the city boundary. I think they used to, but they took it out for some reason. I think it's something to do with the urban or the land in between the urban area and the rural area, and the ONS, I think they classify it as 200 metres, so anything that's closer than 200 metres from the other bit will be included in the same urban area. I did read a long time ago, and I can't remember where I read it, and it might be true, it might be false, but when Clifton Estate, the housing estate, was built, it was the largest council-built housing estate in Europe, which I can believe because it is a huge housing estate. It was kind of like I say, it was a part of the expansion of Nottingham. Now, Nottingham, I seem to remember, and I could be wrong, but Nottingham was told by central government to stop expanding, and so when you look at Clifton on a map, it looks a little bit strange. It looks as if it's kind of just been thrown and randomly appeared there. It doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of Nottingham, and that's because Nottingham had intentions to expand in other areas, so it would have eventually looked like more of a built-up area. So that's it for Clifton for now. I might speak a bit more about Nottingham in general in a bit. We're going to walk into the village now. We're going to walk down to Clifton Manor. It's either Clifton Manor or Clifton Hall, I can't remember. Didn't do my research. But we're going to take a walk down there. I'm going to have a look. Then we're probably going to have a walk down the hill to the River Trent and have a look down there. By the way, this building is a dovecote. I've just looked it up on Google. So yeah, I was right. There is another one in Woolerton in Nottingham. So that's that, and let's carry on. Well, I'm guessing this is the old post office. I wonder why I think that. So we're approaching the hall now. I think they're the old stables. There's a church there. The hall is further down there. You can't actually go in there, it's private. So we're going to walk down here, down to the side of the River Trent. So I got off the tram at Rivergreen in Clifton, and I think 15 minutes later I'm down here by the River Trent, basically. It's one of those areas that I'd never thought of visiting before. I think a lot of people in Nottingham, they don't ever think that they can come to places like this. But with the public transport in Nottingham is so good that you can get to all these places. Clifton puts me in mind of Trolley. Trolley is another place where you can go for a decent walk. You can't get to Trolley by tram, but you can get buses there. But all these great places for walks are all within easy distance in Nottingham, and I think more people should do it. That was a firework. Some kids messing about, I reckon. Anyway, let's carry on. We're going to have a look at Beeston Wier, or is it Clifton Wier? Depends which side of the river you're on. On second thoughts, it might have been a gun. Anyway. Let's just have a look down here. I'm guessing this is the River Trent. It doesn't seem wide enough, but it can't be anything else really. We'll carry on down. Well, that says it all. Clifton Weir, and um, further up the path there it actually said warning for Beeston Weir. So on this side of the river it's called Clifton Weir, and on that side that's Beeston over there, Beeston Ryland. Yeah, they would call it Beeston Weir. This here is a hydroelectric power station. I don't know what it powers. I don't know where the electricity goes or anything like that. So maybe somebody would know. Let's just carry on further down a bit. So in the distance you can just see Ratcliffe-on-Soar power station, which is going to be demolished. That's no longer working. That's been the backdrop of my life since I was a kid. You can see that from miles around. I'm just going to walk down to that strange place there. It's called, I think it's called Riverside, and the only way you can get to it is down these dirt tracks. I'm tempted to think that the laws of the land don't apply to this place, so let's have a look. There's people over on the Beeston side, Beeston Marina. There's a cafe over there. I'd like to go to that cafe one day. There's no bridge to get over there. There's literally no bridges here, so you're kind of stuck on either side. I'd rather be on the Beeston side at the moment because I'd like to go to that cafe. I think it is GUNSHOT. I think somebody's doing pheasant shooting or something like that. This is it, Riverside. Stop the quarry. Saw those signs last time I was down here, but I don't know what quarry it refers to. I think somebody's got their own diesel generator down here. They've got their own power station. So that's Riverside. You wouldn't know it was there if you weren't down here to see it for yourself. Nice little place. So walking back towards Clifton now, we're going to go back. This is the dirt road, the other dirt road down to Riverside, and this road I think it goes down to Barton in Fabis. I'm not going to be going that far. We're going back up to Clifton Village and then I'm going to get the tram home. But I was going to speak more about the other housing estates in Nottingham, which shall do shortly. You can just see the top of the church through the trees there, and there's some cattle. I think there's a lake down there as well. Now I'm still not sure if it's fireworks or gunshot. Oh, I think it is gunshots. It's those guys over there. They're obviously hunting something. They've definitely got guns. Yes, he's going to shoot. No, he isn't. There's a cow looking at me. Just raise this up a bit. There's definitely a cow looking at me. And I don't like it when cows look at me. At least it was a cow, not a bull. I don't think it was anyway. It's not looking at me now. Oh, shouting. Yes. Did he get it? The dogs are chasing the pheasants and they're shooting them. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Yes. I hope that is on camera. Could do with some seating around here because I've got something in my shoe, my trainer. But there are no seats. It's a shame because it would attract more people down here, I'm sure. Because you need to be somewhat fit to walk around, especially on this gravel road. So, but I think we're in Rushcliffe Council, so that might be a Rushcliffe Council thing. I don't think I mean, Clifton is literally just there, but I think the border of Clifton and the border of the city ends at the edge of Clifton. I think this is actually Rushcliffe. So anyway, we'll carry on. You can see the church in the background. That's where we're going back up there. So Nottingham does have a reputation for gun crime. Fortunately, those guns weren't aimed at me, they were aimed at birds. So yeah, I think they've sorted the gun crime out mostly now. It's just knife crime. It's never ending. Thinking about it, this is the time of year for pheasant shooting, so I'm pretty sure it's pheasants they're after. I do like this time of year. It's not a very good day for coming out filming, but if it's not raining, it's always a good day for walking. I think this is a great place to come for a walk. Loads of paths in this country nowadays. You can just walk everywhere. I think it's really good. I think we've done a pretty good job with the footpaths in this country anyway. Go down that way, it takes you along the River Trent down towards the other end of Clifton. But today we're just going to go back up, climb this hill. There's a car park here. There's no seats. There's nowhere to sit. Oh well, carry on. So we're back in the village now. I'm just going back a different way, slightly different way. I mean, Clifton Village is tiny. You can't get lost, but probably a bit less interesting down this road. And there is the sign for Clifton Village. I'm going to have to go back to that seat where I was before. There's actually some seats over there. So I sit down. I'm just going to talk about some other stuff. Well, I've taken the stone out of my shoe. These seats here in this area are the only ones for miles around. It just amazes me how you've got all these miles of footpaths, but there's just no seating. There's no seating anywhere. And I suppose there are reasons for that, but it's not very convenient for people who've got stones in the shoes. Yeah, I was going to talk about Nottingham, more about Nottingham housing estates. I don't know why. it's because I've been walking through Clifton, and it's got me thinking about how Nottingham kind of expanded back in the 50s, but then also in the 60s and 70s, well, in the 60s basically, they started building all these high-rised flats and these concrete complexes. They've been demolished now, so the ones that I remember in Nottingham were Baseford Flats, Balloon Woods Flats, Hyson Green Flats, and more recently Lenton Flats. They were demolished probably about 10 years ago now, and I have mixed feelings about these things because it seems as though it was a crime to build these complexes in the first place, but then it was also a crime to just demolish them and get rid of them, especially Lenton Flats, because when the residents were being moved out, there were a lot of residents in those flats, or at least a few, who said they enjoyed living in those flats. They were happy living there. They didn't want a garden. They just wanted a flat, low maintenance. They didn't want to move out, but they demolished them anyway. And I don't know where those people went. They would have moved them out, because what's there now is a lot of new build housing. They didn't build the equivalent of flats to replace the flats that they demolished. And Nottingham isn't a high-rised city in any way, but a lot of the high-rises were knocked down, and Clifton has one high-rise block. I'm going to go down there and have a look at that before I take the tram home. And it makes me wonder, and Clifton's quite a large, well, it is a large housing estate. It's quite huge, really. But they only built one tower block, and that makes me wonder why they only built one tower block. It must have been some kind of way of marking where Clifton was. If you're in Nottingham, you're looking over into the distance and say, oh, there's Clifton, because there's Clifton Flats. Well, that's where Clifton is. So yeah, mixed feelings about that. And yet they're building high-rise buildings in Nottingham to accommodate students. So if it's good enough for students, I know they're only at university for a few years, but if it's good enough for them, then it's surely good enough for single people. And yeah, so I don't know. It's just council planning always seems to fail. But Clifton I like Clifton. it's quite a nice estate because I think there's a lot of variety in the actual in the way that they planned it. There are green areas. There's this green area here, which is the village, obviously, and then there's the Rivergreen, which I'm going to kind of walk back down, back to the main road, and then just go down and have a look at the tower block, and then get the tram from down that end. So, yeah, let's carry on. Let's go and see this tower block. You might want to switch off now, and then yeah, let's just carry on, and then I'll get the tram home. Glapton Lane, was it called Glapton? I'm going to have to check this out. I'm sure those houses there predate the rest of the estate. Shopping trolley. Fantastic. Morrison's. I'm just going up to Southchurch Drive now, and this is the main road through Clifton Estate. It's where all the shops are, trams. There's even a Greggs, I think. That's the main thing. So this is the tower block. We've seen the tower block. Now we can go home. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.